Okay, so now we are doing the same question with our sketching method. We can use three methods for this particular question. Either we square both the sides, which is something that we have done here, or we sketch the two things on the both the sides of inequality. So we are the one in red is what we are going to sketch now. Here, luckily for us, the question is already in the standard form. So we know A is 2, B is 3, and there's no C. That C is here actually a 0. So we know the shape of the graph is going to be V-shaped. It's +2, so it's positive. So it's a upward shape. Then we have to find the vertex. Vertex we find out by looking and comparing this with our standard form. This you need to change the sign. So this becomes +3 and +0 becomes the vertex. 3, 0 becomes the vertex. Y-intercept is when x is equal to 0. So you put here x is equal to 0, -3, 2 into this whole mod. -3 becomes +3, 2 into 3 is 6. So we got this. So what we are going to do is, you have the vertex, you know the shape, and you know the y-intercept. You connect these two. When you connect these two, you get this, and you create an exact replica on this side. That's your method 1 of sketching, just for the mod part. You can also do the sketching with another method where you plot this as a line. So instead of taking the mod, you take y as 2x minus 3. You remove the mod. Find this where x is 1, 0 and y is 1, 0. When x is 0, you get y minus 6. When y is 0, you get x is equal to 3. You make this line based on these plotting points that you got. You get a line like this. And then this was -6. You go above and you do a +6 there and reflect it, and you get this. Either ways, whichever method you're comfortable, you can do that. This part is clear now, Aditi?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we go to the line. What do we need to do for the line now is, you have to plot the line. Okay. Line plotting is the same way. How do you plot the line? How will you plot the line?
We'll make x and y 0.
We will make x and y 0. So x and y 0 and isko 0. Now when you put x 0, what do you get?
Y is 2.
Y is 2. When you put y 0, x is
2/5.
This is 0, so 5 is here. So 2/5, right? Now 2/5 is how much? It's approximately
0.4.
2/5 is approximately
0.4.
0.4. Now we will plot this line as when x is 0 on the same graph. When x is 0, y is 2/5, which is approximately 0.4 somewhere here. And when y is when y is 0, x when y is 0, x is 2. So here, and when x is 0, here, somewhere here, you will draw the graph. I think there's something wrong here. 1 second. 0 is equal to 2 minus 5x. Sorry. 1 second. This is 1, so ये हो गया 0.4. So ये कब आ रहा है जब हमारा x कितना था? X is 0, this is 2/5. 2/5. When y is 0, am I doing something wrong? I think I'm doing something wrong here. क्या कर रही हूँ मैं?
I don't know.
When x is 0, y is 2 now, so this should be a thing. Okay. Y 0, x is equal to 2 here. And when y is 0, x is 2 by 5, which is somewhere here. Okay, not a problem. Got it. Okay, so now, Aditi, ye dekh rahe ho aap? That's how it is going to connect for you. Can you see this line?
Yeah, but haven't you already reflected that?
No, but now I am making another line, no? For the line, why?
Yeah, I know that, but that line is already reflected, so there's no intersection now.
So there will be intersection. They're not parallel lines. They're not parallel lines, right? So ये कहीं ना कहीं जाके reflect करेगा आगे जा करके.
Yeah.
So you will have to connect. You will have to make it above. हमने यहाँ पर उतना सोचा नहीं था, तो फिर हमने इसको नहीं किया था. But you will have to make it above. This is coming out as your point where they're intersecting. Correct? This point.
Yeah.
ये वाला point अब आपको निकालना है. And it is connecting with which line? It is intersecting with which line? With the minus wala line, not with the positive line, right? Right? So अब हम क्या करेंगे? We will find the next thing that we need to find out is the intersection point. समझ में आया?
Yeah.
Intersection point. Intersection point of what?
So it's going to be minus 2x minus 3 is equal to 2 minus 5x.
Right. Very good. Minus 2x minus 3.
No more than this, right?
No more than this, because now we are finding the intersection point of the two lines. अब बताओ उसकी value कितनी आएगी? Minus 2x plus 6. This is
minus 4 upon 3.
So x is equal to minus 4 upon 3. This value is minus 4 upon 3. And that will be your final answer. That when, अब बताओ कि हमारा question, अभी एक चीज और करना बच गया हमें. We have to tell that 2 minus 5x is greater than the mod. So वो कहाँ पर greater than the mod हो रहा है? If you just look at the entire thing a little, ध्यान से देखोगे तो कहाँ पर ये जाकर के थोड़ा ये हो रहा है. Sorry. कहाँ जाकर के ये actually कहाँ जाकर
after the intersection point.
After the intersection point, what is greater? The line is greater, right? After the intersection point. So what will I say? That when x is greater than or less than?
Greater than.
Greater होगा वो left side पे. सोच के देखो.
Less than.
Less than होगा ना क्योंकि negative value है, right? Correct? So when x is less than minus 4 upon 3, that's when your line, which is 2 minus 5x, is greater than 2x minus 3, finally. Okay. This is your final answer. Okay, sketching is understood?
Yeah.
Right? Clear ho gaya na ye? So, you know what is a polynomial, Aditi?
Yeah.
What is it?
It has more than 3 terms.
It has more than, okay. So even a binomial is a polynomial, okay? Anything which is in the form of a term and there is x raised to power something. It can be x raised to power 1, it can be x raised to power 2, it can be x raised to power 3 or anything, x raised to power n. There will be a constant term. X will be a variable, n is the raised to power or the number of terms. These are the coefficients of the particular term. They are coefficients of the particular term. An will be the leading coefficient always, and A0 is the constant term. Clear?
Yeah.
Degree, you know what is degree? That's the highest power of x in the polynomial. So what is the highest power here?
3.
So the degree is 3, right? Now, सबसे important question that we get from here is direct questions on this. You have to divide a polynomial with another given monomial or a binomial, whatever. Okay.
Hmm.
So how do you divide? क्या करेंगे हम इसमें? Do you remember the division, long division
Yeah.
method?
Yeah.
Okay, that is clear to you? You want me to tell you this once, or we can skip?
No, I think I know it.
You know, right? Okay. Once you divide this, one important thing that I want you to tell me is, if I'm dividing an x cube with just an x, what is the final answer?
X square.
X square, right? So dividend divided by the divisor, you get the quotient. Okay? There is a zero remainder if the divisor is a factor of this. If you get a remainder, that means it is not a factor. If the remainder is other than zero, then it means it's not a factor, right? So what we need to know is dividend divided by divisor gives us the quotient, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Next, you know how to find the remainder. So I am this part, you know. So I want you to just remember this part. Dividend is equal to divisor multiplied by the quotient plus remainder. Take a note of this.
Divisor means the one on the side, right?
Divisor means, I'll just write it here. Divisor means this is dividend. This is divisor. This one is quotient. And this one is the remainder. Okay. Okay. So your first exercise is all about divisions only, which you need to practice. You get questions like these only first. That's
It's
the first.
very direct.
Very direct. Some of them are very direct, but then obviously it will get complicated. And there will be, once you do your chapter on complex numbers, this polynomials will get connected with complex numbers. So you get both kinds of questions. So for the first thing that you need to master is this, how to divide. You should know how to divide properly. You should know what is the remainder and the quotient. You need to practice this part. Okay? Ye ho jayega?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'm going to give you one full worksheet which will be dependent on this entire thing. Okay?
So it will include these questions also.
It will include everything that we have learned from your sketching, say till everything up till the polynomials chapter. Okay? That comes as one unit. So
I even have to do these individual worksheets, right?
You can do that one first, and then you can keep doing these individual ones also. Okay? These individual ones are important, but that one is the full revision is very important. Okay, that's the full thing. Okay, once you have understood what is the remainder, how do you divide, the next that you need to know is the remainder and the factor theorem. Okay, right? Remainder and the factor theorem. So, yeah. Now the question says use the factor theorem to show that x minus 3 is a factor of x cube plus 2x square minus 16x plus 3. I'll tell you what is factor theorem after you do this question, okay? So if you get this kind of a question, which you will get, what are we supposed to do? You have to put, it's given x minus 3 here, right? So the first thing that you will do is put x minus 3 is equal to 0. Done? Yeah. From that, can I say that x is equal to 3? So then the next step after doing that, you will put this value of x here in your, you will first write this as fx is equal to this. And in that x, you will put it as 3. Done? Okay. Yeah, right? Yeah. Then after doing that, wherever there's an x, you put a 3 and then you figure out what is the answer. If f of 3 comes out to be 0, then you conclude that x minus 3 is a factor of this. So in such a question, you do not have to do the long division at all. Is the point clear?
Yeah.
So what can I say about factor theorem?
We just have to equate it to be 0.
Absolutely. So your statement for factor theorem is this, which I will show you now. The statement for factor theorem is this. So every time you get a factor theorem question, you have to deal with this in the same way. If a polynomial is px, fx, gx, whatever, then p of c, where x minus c is a factor of px, then p of c is equal to 0. Okay? Only if it is a factor, correct?
Yeah.
The next kind of question is, what if you have x, your question is here. I'll just show you. This is your next question. And you have to tell me if 3x minus 2 is a factor of this. Your question is if 3x minus 2 is a factor.
Do we have to show is this factor theorem, or is it we have to do it entirely? Because how will we make out?
So this I'll tell you. So if the question says, show if 3x minus 2 is a factor of this, right? You will not do long division, because this question you will not get more than 2 marks. So you will not spend your time at all on this, okay? So what are we supposed to do? You will write P of x is equal to 3x cube minus 2x square minus 3x plus 2, correct? Now, next step, you will write that 3x minus 2 is equal to 0, which means x is equal to 2 upon 3. This step is very important. 2 upon 3 is equal to.
I got the answer.
What's your answer?
0.
You're getting 0. So can I say now, you will have to write the last statement as it is here. X minus 3 is a factor of this. So you will write what? 3x minus 2 is a factor of 3x cube minus 2x square minus 3x plus 2. Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now our next type. Now our next type is here. This is a very, very common question. Okay. If you get a question on polynomials, you will definitely get this kind of a question.
Which one?
I'll just show you. I'll explain this first, and then you will, in the worksheet that I will give you, there are a lot of questions on this. Okay. So you have to, when I'm not here, no, you will be practicing that.
When we get 2 values of x, we'll just put it twice, right? And then eliminate it.
When we get 2 values of x. Like as in 2 values of x, matlab? 2 values of x.
Yeah, 3x square plus 5x minus 2, we'll get 2 values of x, and then we'll put both values in the equation and
perfect.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so let's quickly look at this question. The question, what does the question tell us now here? Given that 3x square plus 5x minus 2 is a factor of this. But do you see that here a and b are not given to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it says find the value of a and b. And once you have found out the value of a and b, you also have to factorize this completely. All right. So fx is equal to 3x square plus, and you'll write it like this. The first statement is always like this. You put fx is equal to this, whatever is given to you, right? And separately, you will also factorize this like you said. So you get 2 values for x. One is 1 upon 3. Another is x is equal to minus 2, correct? Right? Then you put f of 3 is 1 upon 3 is equal to 0. And that means you will, what are you going to do? In place of x, you will put 1 upon 3, correct?
Yeah.
So you get a, when you put all of this, And that has to be equal to 0 because it is a factor. It is a factor. So when you put, the answer should be 0. So you will write the 0 on your own. Correct? You get an equation in terms of A and B because A and B were missing, right?
Yeah, I got this part. You can go to the
Got
next
this?
question.
The same thing you will do for B for the next value, -2. Got it?
Yeah.
Right? And then you solve these two equations. Okay? Clear hua? Solve these two equations, you get A and B. That is your one method. Okay? Now the B part. This method is clear. Isme to kuch confusion nahi tha. You just had to factorize. Now it says factorize completely. Now factorizing completely are of two types. One is very easy. You now have one factor. You know the polynomial. You will factorize it. You will get the next answer. Yeah, because otherwise this was already a factor, so the remainder has to be 0. So you do this method, okay? And when you say factorize completely, so this also has to be in the factors form. So you will, instead of writing 3x square plus 5x minus 2, you have to write the factors of this also, correct? So this is the easy method. Another method is what is little new for you, okay? Sometimes this long division method becomes little, if you do one side mistake, it becomes wrong. So this one would be a slightly easier method. Now here, what are we doing is, understand correctly. Here, see, 3x square plus 5x minus 2 is a factor. It's given. So can I write this entire thing as this multiplied by, now here, this is very important, okay? Multiplied by cx plus d, okay? Generally, we take ax plus b, but since the question also had ax, a and b, so we did not take it as ax plus b, clear? So it's they have taken cx plus d. Now, one important pointer here. Because in our question, what was given to us? 3x square plus 5x minus 2 was given to us, right? But in case the power with, suppose say x minus 4 would have been given to us, then the thing that you would have multiplied with was ax square plus bx plus c instead of cx plus d. Are you getting my point? That's because this multiplied by this will give you x cube. But if x minus 4 would have been given to us, which is also one of the factors for this, x plus 4, then you would have taken the other one as this one, because x multiplied by this would again give you x cube. Did you get my point?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure now, Aditi?
Yeah.
So if you've understood this point, then we will go ahead with the question now. So you equate this, multiply with this, okay? Now we are going to compare the coefficients of x cube and figure out what are the values of c and d. We are going to compare coefficients, okay? Coefficient of x cube is 3, right? So how will you get x cube here? Only when x square is multiplied by x?
Yeah.
So 3 into c should be equal to 3. 3 into c, that should be equal to coefficient.
C will be 1 because when we multiply, it's coming as 3x cube.
3 only, right? So 3x cube should be equal to 3x square multiplied by c. So c should be 1. Clear?
Yeah.
C is 1. Now same way, d is what? What is this d? Does it have any x with it?
No.
So which one do you think should we compare d with? Minus 8.
Yeah.
Minus 8. So what out of these, if multiplied with d, will give you a constant only, no x, it's only minus 2. Yani ki minus 2 multiplied by d should give you minus 8. So d is equal to 4.
Yeah.
Right? So you got the c. In place of c, you will write 3. In place of d, you will write 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, in place of C, you will write 1, not, sorry, I said 3. Say C, you will write 1 and 4. So instead of doing the entire long division method, we just compared the coefficients and we found out the answer. Clear?
Yeah.
Now, one last thing that is there from factor theorem.
But how is this x plus 4? How did this give us x plus 4?
Okay. What did you assume it to be? Cx plus d, right? You assumed it as Cx plus d. You said C is equal to 1 and D is equal to 4. All you need to do is replace. So 1 x plus 4. So it becomes x plus 4. So when this is multiplied by x plus 4,
Okay,
you will get this answer.
okay,
Okay, clear?
yeah.
Now the last thing from this. It says now solve this completely. Solve this. You have to
Solve
find
this with what?
But factorize this. You have to factorize this completely.
But how? We need something now.
Okay, no, nothing will be given. You are just you're asked to factorize this completely. That's your next type. These are the various types that we are learning. Okay, how many types did we see till now? एक हो गया जहां पर हम straight away factor theorem लगा रहे हैं. दूसरा type हमने क्या देखा? Where either your long division method, one factor is given, you're doing long division or to find out the other factor, or doing the equating coefficients method. तीसरा type ऐसा है जहां पर you're doing solving this ऐसा कोई equation दिया, they're asking you to find the answer. Okay.
How will we do it?
So we will start with finding our factors for the constant here. Okay. What are the factors for the constant? What is the constant here?
14.
So what step 1 would be find
14, 1, 2, and 7.
Find factors of constant. Okay. What is your constant? The constant is 14. So iske factors kya kya ban rahe? 1, 2, 7 and 14. So can I say plus 1 and minus 1, plus 2 and minus 2, plus 7 minus 7, plus 14 minus 14. They're all factors of 14.
Yeah.
Now next comes your hit and trial method. Hit and trial. Okay. So what you will do, you will put x is equal to 1.
Oh, we've done this before, I remember.
Yaad aa gaya? X is equal to 2, x is equal to minus 2. The moment you get 0, so let's try with x is equal to 1 se start karte. Let's start that. When you do x, your fx is what? Fx is this entire equation. You will write fx is equal to x cube plus 4x square.
I got x as 1 only, the first one only.
First one only, generally वो first में ही आ जाएगा. So then you will f of 1 is equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to 1 is a factor, which means x minus 1 is equal to 0. Now you can either apply, fourth step would be, you will apply the method of long division.
But why do we have to do that?
Because it is x cube. So we have 2 more factors to find. है ना? हम तो एक ही factor निकाल, right? So either you do long division or comparing coefficient. Comparing.
I do long division only.
To find, try the method. It's very easy.
But I think I'll get confused. And
no, but abhi practice karna na, to फिर try both the methods and try the this method. This will be smaller. So to find the other factors. Okay, clear?
Oh yeah.
That's all. So that's how you will do this entire thing. So you are fully ready with the first chapter now. First whole thing. Clear ना? अब इसमें एक चीज और है, remainder theorem, which is very very similar to our factor theorem. अभी मैं वो भी दिखा देती हूँ फटाफट. if you see this factor theorem and remainder theorem are very, very similar. Okay. What does the question tell you on the screen?
In the first one.
In the first one, use factor theorem to find the remainder. Okay. So what will happen? It's this one and the same thing. It's just that when you see, when something is not a factor, instead of getting a 0, you will get a value, and that value will be the remainder. Okay? You will get a value, and that value will be the remainder. Okay? So we are going to apply that here. All right. So ये हो गया आपका remainder theorem का statement. Here. Remainder theorem में क्या होगा? That in a polynomial, if suppose x minus c is it's divided by x minus c, and we don't know if x minus c is a factor or not. Sorry, x minus c is a factor or not, we don't know. So we will have to put this value of c here, right? If we get a 0, then we say that it's a factor. If we do not get a 0 and something else other than 0, then we say the remainder is whatever the value that you get. मतलब आपको पूरा long division करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Last में जो आंसर आएगा वही remainder हो जाएगा आपका. ठीक है? So we'll see one question based on this. You can see this question here on the screen. It says use factor theorem to find the remainder of this is divided by x plus 1. Okay?
So what exactly is remainder theorem?
So remainder theorem is nothing but an extension. Something which is not a factor will leave a remainder. So earlier the remainder was 0, but now whatever value that you get at the end, that is the remainder. So this becomes the remainder theorem. Factor theorem को 2 parts में divide करते हैं. Factor, you put the factor, you get a remainder as 0. Right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So अभी इसको हम apply करेंगे. And x plus 1, we will put it here, and we will we'll put it at here at fx is for x equals to x plus 1 is equal to 0. So x equals to minus 1. You put minus 1 here, you get a value which is not 0. So what will you say? The remainder is minus 19. Clear?
I did the entire long division for this.
Don't do that. This will be a 2 marker. And you can just finish in just 2 steps. Are you still getting minus 19?
No.
No, that means kahin mistake ho gaya aapse. That is something which will happen in long division. So, hum छोटे-छोटे questions के लिए वो apply नहीं करेंगे. We see that we are clearly given a value. ठीक है? Okay. Now we move to the next question. Again, it says find out a and b. And it says fx is divided by x minus 1 and the remainder is 3. So if you remember in our previous exercise, what were we doing in factor theorem?
They were asking us to show that it's a factor.
Factor theorem, और ऐसा same question जब हमने यहाँ पे किया था तो हमने equals to क्या डाला था अपनी मर्जी से? 0 डाला था ना? क्या हम यहाँ भी 0 डालेंगे? No. So यहाँ पे हमें क्या डालना होगा?
The remainder.
The remainder. So look at this. When you put x minus 1, so x is equal to 1 dollar. It's not equal to 0, it's equal to 3. Right? And then you solve, you get one equation. Similarly, the other one will be minus 2 by 3. X is equal to minus 2 by 3. Remainder is minus 2. So f x ki jagah minus 2 by 3. Instead of 0, you have a minus 2 here. And then you will further solve with this. All right? Clear?
Yeah.
So you get a and b ka value. Then it says find the values of a and b plus. That's all. Nothing else.
In the previous one, can you do it by that coefficient method? I tried doing it. I didn't understand.
In the previous one second.
The one where we were doing the long division only. That hit and trial method.
In remainder theorem or in factor theorem?
Factor theorem.
Okay.
The one in which there was no factor given.
The one in which there was no factor given. Okay. All right. Huh. So let's do it. So you want to do it by comparing coefficient method, right?
Yeah.
So I got 3x cube. No, it's just x cube, right?
Yeah.
X cube plus 4x square minus 19x plus 14 should be equal to whatever you got, x minus 1 multiplied by ax square plus bx plus c.
Yeah.
Right? Now, to get x cube, I need to multiply x with ax square, right?
A will be 1, right?
A should be 1, yes.
But
So-
why aren't we multiplying -1 also? Why are we only doing x into?
Because I need to get x cube. We will be doing for everything. Ax, okay, so I'll just multiply it so that, you know, it becomes easier for you. Let's multiply it this side. Multiply it. Okay, what do you get? Ax cube, right?
Hmm.
And then what do you get?
Bx square.
Bx square. Okay, so x square, ax cube, bx square plus cx
Yeah.
minus ax square, then minus ax square, then
Minus bx.
minus bx minus c,
C.
which is equal to ax cube plus b minus a. I'll put them together. Plus c minus b, put the x together, minus c.
Yeah.
Right? Now we are going to compare with this. X cube plus 4x square minus 19x plus 14. Right? Ab batao, when you compare, what can you see? Yahan ka coefficient or a. So can I say a is equal to 1?
Yeah.
Can I say that b minus a is equal to this 4?
Yeah.
Can I say c minus b is equal to minus 19?
Hmm.
Can I say minus c is equal to 14?
Hmm.
Right? So a equals to 1 is clear. C is equal to minus 14 is also clear. In place of this, can I write minus 14 minus b is equal to minus 19? So that this becomes,
B is 33.
no, when 19 comes on this side, becomes plus 19
Yeah, 5.
is equal to 5. And when b is 5, then 5 minus a is equal to 4. So a is equal to 1.
Hmm.
Clear? मिल गई
Yeah.
हमारी चारों चीजें?
Yeah, but what if I don't want to multiply all the brackets and just compare?
Oh, you can just compare. You can straight away compare. You got a, b, c. So your ax square plus bx plus c. We will write that. That is equal to x square plus b is how much? Plus 5x minus 14. Right? But abhi bhi kaam khatam nahi hua. You still have to make factors of this. Okay? Clear?
Yeah.
तब जाकर के आपका काम कंप्लीट होगा.